Welcome, everyone. My name is Ram Banerjee from the World Yoga Festival, and you're now at day 3 of the 15-day meditation challenge. I hope that you've been enjoying the first 2. I think I said right at the beginning that the meditations are going to follow Advaita Vedanta traditions, but it's important for us to, first of all, learn to control the mind. So the first few meditations are therefore various techniques that are used by a lot of people in trying to bring some sort of order, some sort of calmness to the mind. You must understand that we think that we are our minds. It's not true, but we think that. And therefore, whatever is going on in our minds seems to be the most important thing of all. But actually, some of the things that we think through our minds are completely wrong. Most of the time, we compare ourselves to others because we have a sense of lack. We lack something that others have and would like it. We spend a lot of our time doing this. And therefore, one of the main ways of meditating, one of the main subject areas that's very popular is gratitude meditation. Why have gratitude meditation? Well, actually, there's a lot that we have. When we compare to others and we say that we have a lack, it's because we tend to forget the times that we're successful. If you think back, all the times that you've opened a door, do you remember them? Do you remember the time when you didn't open the door properly and walked into it? Yes. We remember unsuccessful things extremely well. We'll never remember every breath we take, but we certainly will remember when we can't take a breath, when it becomes difficult. And therefore, we spend our entire lives in what's known as a state of becoming. We're not actually satisfied with what we have. We want to become something different, brighter, prettier, taller, more educated, more flexible, more fit, richer, more in love. A life of becoming. We never actually get there, because when we do get there, there's something else to become, something else that we lack. And therefore, our entire focus seems to be on things that we lack. And when you tell the universe, you spend all that time and energy and you tell the universe about the things that you lack, the universe says, oh, that must be what you want. I'll give you more of that. And the truth is, you could never have something that you want. You can only have more of what you already have. I'll say it again. You can never have what you want. You can only have more of what you have. That's because the very thought of wanting something that you don't have is a thought of lack. A lack of something. That is the underlying thought, and that is the one that gives it the power. And when you say to the universe, and here I'm using universe, you can use a natural power, you can say God, you can say the Lord, it really doesn't matter. You're saying to some higher force, I'd really like a little bit more of that. And what are you saying? I don't have enough of that. That's the underlying thought. So therefore, gratitude meditation takes us away from a life of becoming to a life of having and being grateful for what we have. That's why it's done. Now, I think Walsh said it very well, Neil Donald Walsh said it very well in his book, Conversations with God. Most people spend their life in the have, do, be principle. They need to have something to do the things that people who have those things do, to be whatever they want to be. Happy, I guess, content. Have, do, be. We want the example of money. I want to have money to do the things that rich people do, to be happy. For love, I want to have more love in my life, to do the things that loved people do, to be happy. We always want to be happy. And the way to get around this is to reverse it. Be a be, do, have person. Be, do, have. Because if you're happy, then the things that are required for happiness come to you. And then you are that happiness, and then you have the things that cause that happiness. So change from have, do, be to be, do, have. And this requires gratitude. Gratitude for all the things that you have. And you have a lot. If you were to list them, you have a lot. In the Western world especially, we have a great deal. Certainly more than half the planet. So this sense of gratitude is a good idea, because gratitude, if it's said properly, is said to something. As I said, you can say it's an universal power. You can say it's the natural causes, natural world, natural forces. You can call it God. You can call it the Lord. I know some people get stuck on the G word. So we're going to use the word Ishwara. What does Ishwara mean? It means the giver. You see, everything around us, every blade of grass, every tree, the fact that there's oxygen in just the right quantity is given. We didn't do anything to earn it. In fact, we're doing everything to destroy it. The fact that you have this body, that you have two eyes and one nose, is given. You didn't do anything to create it. The fact that you've got two lungs and one heart and one liver, and they're just in the right place, is a given. Everything that you have, including the subtle things like the power of sight, the power of hearing, being able to grasp something, is given. You look all around you. What did you contribute to? Very little. If you drop a ball, you can say, I dropped a ball. No, you didn't. Gravity pulled it down. Gravity is a given. So what have you done? If you see the world as a whole series of given, you have to ask the question, is there a giver? It's a natural question to ask. This is why most people turn to the idea of some superpower. Because things do happen around you. Let me give an example. For every action, there are 4 outcomes. Did you know that? 4 possible outcomes. There's the expected. If you didn't have an expected outcome, you wouldn't perform the action in the first place. Second is the expectation, the better than expected outcome. Third is worse than expected. And fourth is completely opposite. Now, you'll forget this example unless I give you some context behind it. Let's give you a proper example. Every day after work, I cross the road to catch the bus home. Therefore, my action is, my desire is to cross the road. Why? Because I want to catch the bus and get home. Very simple. There's an action and there's a consequence for it. And in 99 out of 100 cases, I cross the road, and sure enough, the expected result is that a bus comes along and I get on it and I go home. Every once in a while, it could be better than expected. Somebody comes around and says, "Hey, I just saw you at the bus stop. Do you want a lift home?" And they take me all the way to my front door. That's better than the outcome I expected. Sometimes it's worse. The buses have gone on strike, or there's been some huge calamity and they're very late, or 3 or 4 buses go past and they're all full. The result is worse than expected. The fourth is the opposite to expectation. I go to cross the road, I slip on a banana skin, I wake up in hospital 3 days later. I never caught the bus home. So for every action that we think we have total control over, it has 4 possible outcomes. And what we always want is for the outcome to be as expected or better than expected. And when it's better than expected, we call that luck. And when it's worse than expected, we'll call ourselves unlucky. And in fact, when it's completely opposite, we give up. So, how can we organize the world so that it gives us, hopefully, the as expected or better than expected, rather than the other two? The reason we pray is so that we want the universe to organize itself so that our outcomes will be successful. That's the reason people pray, and they pray to Ishwara. So gratitude meditation is talking about your successes and your thanks to Ishwara for the successes that have happened to you, rather than the negative outcomes that could have happened to you. And this state of mind will open up the world for you, as more and more things will come to contribute to that success. That's why we do gratitude meditation. Now, enough talking. Let's go into our third meditation. Deep breath. Now, I won't talk about posture. You've done it for 2 weeks now. You know how to settle yourselves down. You know how important the breath is to you. I'm going to just turn off my video so you have no distraction at all. And remember, I will keep a watch on the time, and we will end with the 3 gongs as usual. So you're sitting comfortably. Your hands are resting on your lap, palms facing upwards. Your eyes very gently closed. You're being breathed. Work through the mechanism of relaxation that we've tried earlier. Start from the top of your head. And gradually, very gently, work down your body, your face first of all. Loosen those eyes and cheek muscles, and then the shoulders. Very important to loosen the shoulders. And go down. With every outward breath, you're getting more relaxed. Work through the body, down the arms and the hips, down to the legs. Now you're at peace. The breathing is gentle. The eyes gently closed. If a thought comes to your head, allow it to drift by, like the cloud that it is. Be the blue sky, empty, as the thoughts drift by. Now bring your attention to one thing that you're grateful for. It can be a person, it can be an object, it can be a situation. It is something that gives you joy. It is most probably a person. Or it could be an event that has happened today. Times are difficult, but amongst it, there are some super people. Something that has happened, something that you're grateful for, something that was better than expected. As you think about it, the thought around that gets bigger. Thoughts are like flames when they start. And as you feed it with good vibrations, they get bigger. If a thought comes into your head that you don't like, if it's a tiny flame, blow it out or allow it to drift by. Focus on your item of gratitude. Gently say to yourself, I am better. I am happier. I am more pleased as a result of this one thing. It brings joy to my life, even if it's in a tiny way. And in this moment, When I think about that, everything else dissolves. I am one with that happiness. I'm one with that joy. Thank you, dear world, for bringing this to me. Even if it never happens again, thank you for bringing it to me. I will enjoy this. I will appreciate this for the duration that it lasts. Because I'm grateful. Stay a moment with these thoughts. Amplify them. You may even find that it brings a gentle smile to your face as you revel in this moment of gratitude. As you drift off to bed tonight, drift off to sleep, knowing some things for which you're grateful is a very good way to fall asleep. Rather than fall asleep with an anxious thought in your mind, you fall asleep with the gentleness of being happy And this contributes to the quality of your sleep. So even if it's nothing more than, I'm grateful that I have a bed to lie on, that I'm warm, and that I'm fed. Those three are enough to have a joyful sleep. We're very lucky. If we can control our minds and bring gratitude into the mind, rather than a sense of lack, we'll be even luckier. You must know many people who suffer as a result of not thinking positively in this way, who don't have gratitude for the things that they have. So spend a moment and share your gratitude and happiness with them. Project it out from yourself and wish them well, that they too may find happiness with the things they already have, rather than be engrossed into becoming something completely different. Because when you're grateful for what you have, your happiness is amplified. And all the things that make you happy are attracted to you. This is the great secret of happiness, is to be totally content with now. Acceptance of what is now to be your happiest moment to date. Gratitude for what we eternally have. Let us bring our hands together and say together, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much. Lovely to be with you today. Have a good sleep, and we shall see you tomorrow. Good night.